So we're getting ready for the next storm. I want to get into a little bit about temperatures. I want to let you know about the rainfall and, of course, about the wind. So today we stayed relatively cool. We had some sun, which was nice, and we stayed basically shy of 70 degrees. Mount Vernon, I'm going to give you the shout out, the warm spot at 72. Now, when we take a look at currently, we're in the 50s. It's feeling quite chilly in several spots, and I think we're going to continue to see temperatures tumble going into tomorrow. Now, we have that chance for a thunderstorm, basically area-wide, all across the state tomorrow afternoon. We got to wait for the front to move through, so we're just playing the waiting game. High clouds coming in. We've had some spotty showers today. The last remaining showers seem to be up towards Whatcom County, just lifting north into British Columbia specifically, and then we get into some heavier rain. So the front itself is working its way closer to home. Tomorrow, basically overnight tonight into tomorrow is when it's really going to be impacting us. So paying attention to the timeline here, notice overnight we're going to see the wind shift out of the south. We'll stay calm until we get into the overnight hours when I think we could see that front starting to push through. So 1:30 in the morning, getting a few showers out on the coast. By the time we head into 4, 5, 6 o'clock, that's when we'll start to feel it around Puget Sound, and that's when the wind will begin to pick up a little bit more. So around Puget Sound, wind anywhere from 10, maybe 25 miles per hour coming in out of the south. If you're on the coast, that wind could be up to 30 plus, not including gusts. All right. The rain sticks with us for the entire morning rush hour. All right. By midday, that front is pushing east now. This is 11 o'clock in the morning, and we get a small window of a break. Once we get that small window, especially if we get a sunbreak or two, it's going to add some instability factor, and that's going to bring in more showers, and this will give us the best chance to maybe see some of those thunderstorms rolling through. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, evening commute is now impacted by this. Wind is still breezy coming in out of the west, and of course around Puget Sound, it's still constantly coming in out of the south. So it'll be breezy throughout the day. Those spotty showers are going to stick with us throughout Tuesday night. By Wednesday, we still have the storm lingering, so there could be some showers, but the second half of the week is looking a little bit more on the drier side. Here's an estimation of how much rain I think we could get. We could average, let's say, 1/4 of an inch up to an inch, and there could be a few bullseye spots that pick up a little bit more than that. So we're all going to get something. All right, bottom line, rainy and breezy. So get the kids and yourself a rain jacket for tomorrow. 63 is all I got us at. So that means there's going to be some of us who just get stuck in the 50s. It's going to feel quite cool. Wednesday, we begin the process of slowly trying to gradually warm us up. And I do have a low 70 on the map with more sunshine. Second half of the week is looking much more on the nice side. Back to you guys.